It's Week 17 of the National Football League. And we've got C.D. Lamb. He should be one of his quarterback's best friends this week. It's the Desperados and the Thunderbirds. Next on EA Sports.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rio de Janeiro team. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. There's Nick Folk ready to put this one in the air. And to a vibrant drum beat, we are underway here in Rio. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down. To throw is Rodgers. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29.
You know I'm going to go towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Here's a 10 at the 14-yard line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Again, it's Henry. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. Now Rodgers. And it's caught. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Thunderbirds will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right. That's
mark.
the highest you can get. Where he is, he'd like to continue on that pace.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. Leading him out, the former Stanford man. At quarterback, it's Davis Mills.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception through.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Jalen Phillips from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Mills now. Under pressure, they got him again. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And a pretty little juke move there. Not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Take on the midfield logo. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A first down carry for Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Henry. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning.
Nowhere to turn here. He's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Quiddy Pay in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Here's Daniel Whelan now. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snapped, and they're there, and they end up making the play.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss. Here's Rodgers. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 15 carries, 92 yards.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 3rd and 4 now. Rodgers going to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Quiddy Pay. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now the Rio offense set to take over. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Lamb's first catch of the game, good for a 1st down.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a 1st down.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he'll find Higbee open downfield. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Mills. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, it's 9-0. Second quarter down, it's our home team with possession, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Mostert. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's Mills. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. Working out of the gun, Mills. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Eric Armstead able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they'd have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. 2nd down and 3. Henry up the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. The yardage numbers for him just keep piling up for his career. He's now toppled, Charles, the 11,000-yard mark.
And just think about that. For most NFL running backs in their career, it feels like if they get to 1,000 yards, they've had a nice little run. He's over 11,000 yards, probably beyond his wildest dreams.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 2. On the slant, completes to Sutton. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. To throw, it's Rodgers. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard. On play action, it's Rodgers. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
Now it's Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
A give to Henry. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Henry will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers punching it in from a yard away. And the Thunderbirds are able to widen their advantage. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. A run with Mostert up the middle. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they're left now with 3rd and 1. They'll try and run here with Mostert. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through. And the lead is down to 10 now at 16-6. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in. And had just enough to get it done.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Now Rodgers. He completes this to Sutton. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The offense on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Rodgers. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A gain of 22.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers to throw once more. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Left side caught by Diggs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Rodgers now to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Here's Rodgers to throw. It's caught. Mitchell. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. That'll go as a pickup of 8. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Now Rodgers. And it's caught. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Thunderbirds would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point attempt to come here. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. He's going to look deep for more. That is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Rio offense about to set up shop once again. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Mills to throw it. Short throw, it's Higbee. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down. Mills now. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense, because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
2nd and 7. Once again, it's Mostert. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Mills from the gun on 3rd down. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Eric Armstead able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. CD, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach, trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Folk's kick is good, and that will close the gap down to 14. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Thunderbirds offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 8. Running from the gun with Henry. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 71 yards on the ground now for Henry. He's got a first down.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
But if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. From the 46, here's second down and 7. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
They bring their punter out there now as he's on to kick it away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Well, the Rio offense about to set up shop once again. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
And this is incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Now Mills. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And they will take over first and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Henry again on second down. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Gets through and now an opening. Shoves him aside.
Missed.
He will not go down. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 109 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another first and 10.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. A toss right to Henry. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. Rodgers going to throw. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Eluding the pressure right. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And as a result, possession switches hands. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. Mills. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. Call it a gain of 2 as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. Play action now. Mills. Short throw. It's Higbee. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. To throw, Mills. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jerry Tillery running in there and setting him down. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Henry. Shoves him away. Takes it to about the 37. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. To throw, it's Rodgers. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Escaping, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Quentin Williams. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the Rio offense set to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mills. He's got Higbee complete right side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 more on that one and another first down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. In motion comes the tight end left. Here's Mills. Short throw, it's Higbee. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5. Mills again. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, they seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but
Mills hit, and he loses the ball. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. but it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. They have to like what they've gotten from him in this game.
Think about the accumulation of catches.
8.
The yards per catch now, because you're getting more than a first down every time he's touching the ball. This is the kind of game you want when you're able to throw it out wide.
Absolutely. Over 100 yards, has the 8 catches. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 153 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Throwing now is Rodgers. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a first down. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Second down and 3, ball on the 7. They'll run it again with Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Throwing is Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. A first down carry for Henry. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And it's caught. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs with career touchdown number 75. And the Thunderbirds look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Rio offense set to take over. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Throwing, Mills. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. A quick throw, but incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Mills to the air again. And down he goes It's a coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it. Eric Armstead able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. From the gun on third down, Mills. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, these guys want to do something positive as this game approaches its end, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, it's really been more indicative of how the game has gone for them.
Mills, fourth down, gotta have it. He's gonna let it fly. And this will be caught at the 30. Now the offense gonna use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw here on first down. He'll swing this out to Mostert. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Second down and 6 now from the 26. Looking to throw. Mills. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Again, it's Mills. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. One last shot for Mills. One last shot at the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for our visitors, they get an all-important 10th win to move them to 10-6 with 1 week to go. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.